What is going on, YouTube? Patrick here. This footage is from last Saturday. We really wanted to go to some more garage sales, estate sales. There just weren't any, though, for whatever reason. That's kind of normal for April. So we hit the thrift store circuit. We were out pretty early, though, so we were able to go to some that we don't normally go to. So this is a Goodwill that I don't go very often to. And you can kind of see, like, the shelves are a little bit bare, and that's kind of normal for this one. Surprisingly, there's lots of people here. And a lot of people with carts full of stuff already, where I'm like, this was just barely after they opened at 9 o'clock. I was pretty surprised by that. But did find a couple interesting things. You see me pick up that microscope there. It was from like a local school. Looked like it was selling for like $15 to $20. I did end up putting that back. But it looked like they had just gone through and reorganized all of the electronics. So I saw that camera case up there, picked it up, opened it up. There's actually a really nice Canon digital camera in there. I didn't even look. It was $3. I didn't even need to look it up, right? I bought that thing. This other one here is a Sony, not quite as nice, so I did end up leaving that one behind. And then there was that the Fun Saver there, which I will pick up again in a second. I did decide to look at that. That other kitchen item there for a second. That camera looked really nice too, but it was stuck open, and I don't know, maybe I could have gotten it working, but I was worried about it. There's the Fun Saver. It was a little bit older. I figured it was $2. I figured I'd buy it. It wasn't worth quite as much as I was hoping, though. No, not really too surprised, but I figured, why not? Let's take a risk for $2. There is one other good item here that I'm about to pick up. There it is. I'm surprised it took me that long to notice it. Magnavox DVD VHS. I cannot remember what it says there on the tag. Looks like it might have been $10, something like that. Not like the best deal for these, right? You really want to be paying a little bit less, but $10 isn't bad. So now, of course, I didn't have a cart, so I was kind of wandering around the store a little bit more, hoping to find something else. Didn't really see too much more. Like I said, this one is usually not too full, but I had a few extra minutes, so I was like, let's stop and take a look. And I'm glad that I did, right? Because I did find some really good stuff. Stay to the end. I will put up all the comps at the end of the video, and you can see how much this stuff was worth. I do still like to go through the toys. I've started to get a little bit ungated in some board games on Amazon. So definitely looking for, right now, new and sealed board games, trying to be able to sell those on Amazon. And then any kind of toys that might be good as well, just like for eBay, always looking for that stuff. Don't usually find a ton of stuff. I did go back and look up a couple of those board games that were brand new. Didn't end up picking them up, though. They were not worth it. And of course, always got to come over and take a look into the case. There you can see me in the reflection, which I think is kind of funny. But like I said, this Goodwill usually doesn't have a ton of stuff. We'll head over to Savers. This one's a little bit more fun. Amber did come with me. I did try to pick out some audio of the two of us talking. Didn't find a ton this week. Of course, headed to the back to electronics. Holy cow, you guys. Look at how bare these shelves are, right? So I'm looking for VCRs. I'm looking for the DVD combo units. Of course, I'm going to be looking for video game stuff, but you know what? There's just really not going to be a lot of that anymore. Most of the time, they put all that stuff behind the counter. But you never know what you're going to find. Like, this kind of depends on who's working and what comes out. You can see there's a bunch of video game dance mats down there. Those can do okay paired with a game. But they're slow sellers, right? So the key is get them cheap and be willing to hold on to it for a while. There was also a couple of Wii Fit boards, which can sell for like $15 to $20 if you've got the inclination. I saw these roller skates there and that they were Skechers branded, so I put them right into the cart. Figured I'd give Amber a chance to take a look at them. She is kind of a roller skate expert. And then I saw this little mini skateboard, which I did look up, and if it was in good condition, was selling for like $40, $50. I think this one was a little bit too beat up. Amber agreed with me, so we put it back. But otherwise, like, if it had been in good shape, I probably would have picked it up. Headed over to my next favorite section, which is the kitchen appliances, right? These are the small countertop appliances. Always looking for some interesting stuff. I thought that I probably should have looked into this deep fryer a little bit more. The last time I found one, I looked it up, and it was actually selling pretty well. And I don't know why I didn't do that this time. I picked it up, I looked at it, and then I got distracted with something else and just kept on moving. Yeah, right. Sometimes the that initial adrenaline rush of being in the store just gets me overwhelmed, and I forget to do what I'm supposed to be doing as a reseller, which is my due diligence. Headed around the corner here to the bakeware section, right? I'm mostly looking for Nordic ware. Also going to be looking for anything else that looks interesting, right? Maybe some brand new stuff. There is a really nice bowl set there in the middle that is brand new. I did end up looking this one up. Like I said, as a reseller, like kind of got to do your due diligence. It looked so nice. The brand I knew was not like one of the stellar brands, and sure enough, they had it priced above what it's selling for on eBay. Just kind of ridiculous at that point, right? This one here did look like a Nordic ware, but it was a Wilton, so back it went. And then I turned around and started looking at the shelves over here, right? Looking for Calphalon, looking for cast iron. And honestly, there's a couple other brands that you can find. You saw me there just do the tap test. Normally, you can tell if it's quality just based on the sound, right? If it's got that deep sound, it's going to be pretty good. And if it sounds just kind of like ding, ding, then it's usually going to be cheap. That is not always the case, but it's a good place to start from if you're just getting started in this category. And of course, me and this other gentleman here were kind of in each other's way. You saw him give me that look. And then I saw this hammered aluminum down here. This is a brand that is good. If you did the tap test on this, you're gonna do well. I did end up picking this up, even though it was $8, it was still worth it. Like I said, stay to the end. You can see how much it's worth. Pretty solid flip for $8. Not going to be like the flip of the week or anything like that, but nice, good, solid kitchen item. No moving parts, right? Maybe a little bit of cleaning you need to do. You saw me do the tap test there again. That's why I kind of like pots and pans, right? Most of the time, you don't have to do a lot of work to get them cleaned up. Maybe do a quick wash. And if you have to do more than that, make sure that it's worth your time, right? You don't want to be spending a ton of money or ton of time cleaning something if it's only going to be worth like $15, $20. My next stop was the toy section. I did skip the pegs in this video just because there just wasn't anything worth even looking at. There wasn't even worth anything me showing. It was mostly just baby toys and a couple of junky kids toys. But they've had this new section here where it's all these sports cards. And I've started to see, like, occasionally they've been putting out Magic the Gathering cards. And they're never here by the next time I come back. So somebody's buying them. And I was like, well, let's buy some and see how they do. Let me tell you guys, I poured $28 down the drain. There was not even a card in here worth $1. Yeah, so not great. What's that? It's interesting though, isn't it?
Charades for kids.
That's a good one.
Yeah. This would be good for Sunday school.
Okay.
But Tim doesn't like any like toy things, but they get bored between services.
This was my favorite game as a kid.
Yeah.
Payday.
Payday?
Yeah, loved this game. Loved this game.
I like sequin.
Yeah, I like sequins. There's another one.
Yeah, it must be a closeout.
That's a clear out from somewhere. Yep. Which one is it? Disney?
Second edition.
Okay, I'm headed up to the case. So I'm noticing that I didn't do a very good job of listening to Amber. She was trying to tell me something, and I was so hyper-focused that I did not listen to her. So Amber, I am so sorry, my love. Please accept my apology. My next stop was to come up to the front here of the store where they have all these electronics on pegs, and kind of similar to what happened to me in the pots and pans section, just kind of randomly I'm competing for space with somebody else who just decided that they needed to go through it at the same time as me. And I got a little bit frustrated and just kind of gave up. And the pegs were kind of not that full anyway, but still, like, I was just not very happy about that. I did take a look at the media real quick, but then I came around the corner to this clocks, and I saw there was this DVD VHS here, a Panasonic, which for VHS players usually is a pretty solid brand. So I was like, all right, let's look this up. It was super heavy, and I think let's see if we can see the price. It wasn't cheap. I could not see the price in the preview footage. It wasn't cheap though. So yeah, I looked it up. It was selling for like $20 plus shipping, or I think like $30, $40, $50 with free shipping. Just not going to be a good deal, right? Like for something that heavy, you're going to just get killed in the shipping costs. So it stayed behind, unfortunately. I thought it was a really strange thing to find in that part of the store, though. Just very, very odd. So headed back here to the other kitchen stuff, and then my love, who I wasn't listening to, brought me something that was brand new and sealed, or so she thought. We took a quick look at it. We thought this probably had been resealed at probably like a Best Buy or something like that. Maybe it had been a return. So that stayed behind. But man, she does such a good job. And then, of course, like I said, not listening to her. So in this section of the store, I'm always looking for, honestly, like ninja stuff. A lot of times I'll find ninja pitchers or ninja milk frothers, or I didn't know what this was. And so then, of course, what do we have to do as men? We have to play with it, right? Of course. That was a little chopper. We used to have one just like it. They work honestly pretty well. So if you're looking for a chopper, that's a good one to do if you don't want one that's electric. Always do head to the mugs. Always, you never know what you're going to find. I saw this Legend of Zelda one based on the video game, and I'm a huge fan of Legend of Zelda, so I really liked it, but it had been through the dishwasher a few too many times and probably wasn't dishwasher safe to begin with. So sadly, ended up leaving that one behind. I probably would have bought it just maybe even for myself, even though I don't need any mugs. With the twins on the way, definitely going to be getting rid of some of that stuff here pretty soon. All right, so now over to the next stop of the day. This is another Goodwill. This is another one where the shelves are usually kind of bare. But then out of nowhere, I find this New Jersey Dunkin' Donuts mug, which in the past I wouldn't have picked up. But I've started to see that some of them have gone up in value. So very similar to some of the Starbucks City mugs, they can be worth about $10. So for $1, I definitely picked that one up. I next headed back to the media section here, and I won't include too much, maybe like 30 to 45 seconds, but I wanted to show you what I've started to do for my process now for Amazon. I'm starting out really, really simply. I'm just going through the media, pulling out everything that's brand new and sealed, and then just looking it up via the Amazon seller app. It's super easy. Doesn't actually take all that long. Here, you'll see me open up the seller app there. There's a little camera. You take a picture of the barcode, and then you can see immediately how much it's worth. It'll even tell you like how much the fees are. If I scroll over to this next screen here, there you go. It tells me all the fees, and it tells me how much am I going to take home, and I can compare that to how much it costs. So I will know, like literally with all the fees and stuff, how much everything's going to be. And that's it. That's the quick Amazon tutorial right there. I am still going to do another video based on this. I included the footage from this Goodwill of the case just because I actually did find a couple things in here. Sadly, to me probably, there were 4 PlayStation 3 controllers in here that were actually Sony branded. And while I was looking, somebody else actually went and got the person to open up the case, and he wanted all of them. Now, I was like, well, that's what I was waiting for as well. And he was very generous and honestly offered to give me 2 of them. So we split the 4 of them. I took 2 and he took 2, which that was super, super amazing of him. Like most of the time you just say, you snooze, you lose kind of thing, right? You can see them there on the left side of the screen. There's a blue and a silver one. There were a couple more in there, even a PlayStation 2 controller. There was just honestly a lot of really interesting stuff. There was some, what do you call it? Mega Constructs Pokemon stuff in there. There were cameras. You can see that there's like a little Microsoft desk camera down there, which I did end up buying. Actually, it was worth it. It was only $12. And there was just a lot of good stuff. I did poke through all of it. Most of it, as you guys can guess, since it's in the case, the prices were a little bit too high. But like I said, I did get that camera and I did get the 2 PlayStation controllers. And all right, this is going to be the last part of the footage today. Sadly, while I was in this Goodwill, my camera's battery just ran out unexpectedly, and I lost all of the footage from this stop and from the next stop. I did not realize that the battery was dead. Normally, this thing will last me, I don't know, most of the day without the battery dying. I'm not sure what happened this time, and I was not paying attention that it wasn't turning on, which, yeah, I don't know how I did that, you guys. I honestly do not know. But I was looking at this Lego set. I thought it was pretty interesting. It was open, but all the bags inside were brand new. And it was $5. This Goodwill has no service, you guys. There's literally no service in here. So you can't look anything up unless you go to one tiny little corner of the store. So I just asked Amber. I was like, "Hey, Amber, what do you think? Should we buy this?" And she said, "No, it's open. Don't buy it." I did look it up while I was watching this footage, and even for parts, it looks like it's selling for about $75. So what are you gonna do? You can't win them all. So that's gonna do it for us this week, you guys. If you've enjoyed this footage, please do smash that like button. And if you're interested in subscribing, we'd love to have you. We do publish new videos on Wednesday and on Saturdays. Wednesday is going to be a what sold video, and then Saturday is going to be a live purchasing trip of some kind, whether it's going to thrift stores, estate sales, garage sales, something like that. Occasionally, I'll do a how-to video if I didn't get any good footage from the week before. Before I jump into the comps here, I wanted to thank you all for watching today. And once again, my name is Patrick. Thank you very much.